how do we apply the same principle from John 8 to empathy for our brother and sister and listening and saying, we could actually disagree on this politically and agree on it morally and agree on a
Yeah.
solution, but how do we get to that point of even having those conversations and having a kingdom way of being unified around this?
Yeah, I think part of this is we have to understand the difference between unity and uniformity.
Mm,
Uniformity is with the word uniform. Everyone looks the same, right?
right.
Everyone holds the exact same views on every last thing. We're all uniform. That's not what we see modeled in the New Testament. What we see in the New Testament is unity,
Right.
whether it's Jews and Gentiles sharing a table in the church, as Paul's writings talk about,
Yep.
and you see in the book of Acts, or even Jesus with his own 12 apostles. There's
Yeah.
immense diversity among those 12 men, including political diversity. Like
Yeah.
you had Matthew, a tax collector, a Jewish tax collector working for the Roman pagans to take money, basically stealing money from his own countrymen to give it to their occupiers. And you have uh, Judas the Zealot, who's a terrorist working for political freedom through violent means. Like they could not be more opposite,
Right.
and yet they're united. But that's the issue then becomes, well, what unites us?
Yes. What united those guys? Like
What
that's an
united those
interesting,
guys was Jesus. They were all
right.
committed to Jesus.
Right.
And that's what's supposed to unite the church is
Yes.
we are sisters and brothers united in Jesus. We are not necessarily united in politics. We're not even necessarily united in what we believe to be the right solution to ending abortion, but we should be united in Jesus. So what I would want to see happen is two or more believers sitting down together in the unity of the faith, in the unity of
Yes.
Christ, and saying, okay, let's have an honest conversation about abortion, and let's all begin in the same place. Let's begin with Jesus. What are the shared convictions we have? Those things like compassion and empathy, the dignity of all human life, including unborn humans created in the image of God, like all these things that we share in common, and then go, okay,
Mhm.
we all are united in that. Now let's talk practically about what does it look like to advocate for those things in our very diverse pluralistic society.
Yes.
What can law do? What can it not do? What can politics do? What can it not do? What can the church do? What can it not do? What can we as a community do? And what can we not do? And what ultimately is up to a single woman that none of us can do other than that woman.